Hello and good evening, everyone. Before we begin, I would like to give a huge thank you to all of my active patron members. Big thank you to Brayden, Albedogen, a donator on the internet, Kalira Star, Jane the Zinni, Ironia, Lexendor Devunt, Azalea, Battlebugs, Nodenter, Envious Nova, Goblin, Rachel C., Makoto, Spam Juniper Turn, Aylin, Lavish Hair, Azura Akamor, Nobody at All, Agatha, Ragecat 888, Amy Wires, The Octahat, Evelyn Puppy, Rosebound, Fish Salad, Sarha Smith, Valkyr Dunno, Galahad, Salgor Agaris, Marisa Kersidasame, Benifer the Potato, Genetic Zero, ZT Mackin, Queen of all Dread Boys, Void Dweller, T35, Elster's Shiny Things, Jessica, Amy Olgers, Lost in Wonderland, Chloe, Beer the Space Witch, Ellipses, CM Fireflies, Some Guy, Ghost48, Joanna, Indigo, Aylin, Kai, Danu Bobani, TGA, Eden, Mick Shepard, Captain Aardvark 986, Lily Adams, Hazel, Alice, Kolic 92, Freya 19, DFA Players, Robot Waifu, and Bloodmoth. Thank you. Thank you so very much for all of your support. It truly means the universe to me. If you too wish to become an active patron member, please click the link in the description down below and visit my Patreon page. Thank you so very much, and without further ado... Hi, I'm back. I know that the last time I streamed I said that I would stream the next day, but I felt a little bit under the weather and forgot to mention it. I'm so terribly sorry. I'll do my best to let y'all know in the future if I'm feeling ill or whatnot before, just leaving you out of the loop like that. I'm sorry. Welcome, Violet, Camilla, Kerma Dravacor, Emma, of course, Director, welcome, Director. Let's see here. Camilla says, yay, I'm off and can be here. They can't stop me. It is good to see you again. How are you, Violet? Karma says the first ASMR stream I actually catch live. Welcome. It is very, very good to see you. Emma says, oh, you're plenty cute. Also, pizza's yum. That's right, Camilla. You are. Director says, I think this is the first time I've gotten here without Fox being in the middle of a sentence. How is everyone? Well, that is a good question. How is everyone doing today? Happy but must remain awake? Camilla says, I did a poll on a Discord server and it's official. Cat girls are greater than fox girls are greater than puppy girls. Director says, your Discord was wrong. I will not elaborate. Well, I can accept being mid-tier. Camilla says, democracy has spoken. Hail Vox Populi, the people's voice. Fox people? Hello, Fizz. Ahoy! Hope you're staying hydrated during tonight's gross humidity. Hello, Cheyenne Abner. Oh, cool. I actually caught this, they say. Hello and welcome. It's so very good to see you. It was full of cat girls, says Camilla, so there's that. All good. I can accept being mid-tier as a choice. I am, after all, one fox girl of very, very many. Gerrymandering. Any day we get to see you is a wonderful day, says Emma. Well, thank you so very much, dear. Cheyenne says, I am curious if this is your natural speaking voice, or do you have like some kind of warm-up thing to get that kind of voice you do for your videos? I don't really do a warm-up for this sort of voice. I do sometimes do a little bit of a warm-up for audios, though. Sometimes I do a little bit of humming. Basically stuff like that. And it does help get my resonance back up to where it usually is, or where I like it to be. But relatively speaking, this is my natural speaking voice. Just all me. I mean, granted, for all voice training, it is all you. Violet says, I also got my hair dyed yesterday. Congratulations. Also, welcome, Demon Mystery Kid. My night is going pretty good so far. How about you? Fizz says, oh, Cutiefox does karaoke. Sometimes I do. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. When everything's meant to be broken, I just want you to know who I am. Cheyenne says, dang, I guess you got lucky with that because it was definitely made for ASMR audios. Believe it or not, it wasn't luck. It was sheer training. Sheer training got me this way. Believe it or not, I actually do like showing off my pre-transition voice simply because it gives a lot of people a bit of a bench line as to what they could sound like with just like a few years of training. For example, this is basically my voice from roughly 6 years ago. It was recorded around January, uploaded on February in the year 2020. A full 2 months before I came out as trans. And it's of a recording of a Stephen King short story. Apparently some people like to come back to it, basically because it's a free reading. I can't take it down because I don't have the password to it anymore. But if you wish to hear it, then this is my pre-transition voice.
1408.
1.
Mike Enslin was still in the revolving door when he saw Olin, the manager of the Hotel Dolphin, sitting in one of the overstuffed lobby chairs. Mike's heart sank. Maybe I should have brought the lawyer along again after all, he thought.
Too
late now. And even if Olin had decided to throw up another roadblock or two between Mike and room 1408, that wasn't all bad. There were compensations.
So basically, that is my voice, from roughly 6 years ago, yes. That was before I did any voice training of any kind, simply because I still thought I was cis back then. But yeah, now I sound like this. Camilla says, my night is good. I saw the news yesterday and read the files the government declassified when I was on break yesterday, so this is an improvement. Fizz says, yes. Camilla says, still sounds better than me. Hey, if you wish to improve with your voice, you can always do the training. And no matter what, we will never judge you. It takes a lot of time and effort to sound the way that I do. I mean, seriously, go back to some of my first audios. I sound a whole lot rougher than I do these days. Cheyenne says, why does this motivate me to undergo voice training even though I'm not trans in the slightest? Well, hey, doing voice training is more than just to sound one way or another. It's also to basically become proficient in voice acting. Demon says, it sounds good. Camilla says, because voices are fun. Oh yes, they are. They are indeed. Cheyenne says, I do little scuffed readings of random visual novels with my friend group sometimes. A lot of fun. I believe it. I think Valerie once said that I was a witch. That I do witchcraft. Director says your pre-transition voice on video is disconcertingly close to how I sound in my own ears. I didn't like how I sounded a long time ago. Now I can appreciate what my voice was. You know, I can appreciate what my voice was a little bit more than I did at the time. But I can't make myself sound like it anymore. If I simply, like, drop my pitch, it doesn't drop the resonance. And it just sounds kind of like I'm faking a voice. And besides, I don't really like talking in those low sorts of pitches anymore either. I just like talking in this pitch, in this resonance. It feels a lot more me, doesn't it? Cheyenne says, okay, well, you didn't have to do that. Caught me off guard. Demon says, voice training is hard, but eventually you be good at it. Hannah says, OMG, go throw hands with Twitch. What did they do this time? Says that my browser Firefox is unsupported both in normal and private windows, but says it's supported on the help page. Dang. Demon says, okay, I have a funny story about an FRF ASMR I was wondering. Would you like to hear it? Please, by all means. Director says, apologies, but my laptop is starting to have a fit over streaming, so I need to go before I suffer a magic smoke decompression event. I see. Stay safe, Director. Violet asks, who's your favorite character to voice that you made? Oh, that's a good question. It's a very good question. There has been a few that I've recorded. There are over 400 videos on the channel right now, I believe. And of those, some of them are of the same yandere/yanderes. I think some of my favorite ones are like the recent content ones, simply because, well, I like my recent stuff. I really like the yandere stepmother. I like how eccentric she is. She's just like this sort of... She's a motherly figure that's been around for a while. There are many others, too, that I've liked doing, like the yandere demoness Ostafe. She, too, is a favorite of mine. Hello, Kendrick, and welcome back. And hello, Time Marshal. It is so very good to see you again. Excuse me. Camilla says, I woke up to my dog on my back with a nice fluffy pupper. Ty says, miss you. I miss you too. I'm doing the best I can. How are you? Fizz says, oh no. Yandere stepmother for sure is in my top 10. Also, I have, like, some works in planning stages that I simply can't record yet. I'm writing a lot, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna be writing a lot between now and the winter months. But until those winter months hit and the atmosphere starts cooling down, I'm not gonna be able to record anything, and it's It's driving me a little bit nuts, I'm not gonna lie. I don't like being forced into vacation like this. I want to be able to, like, get back in and record stuff. But even this last attempt at re-recording the Welcome Home remastered audio, the volume ranges are so far, just so wildly out of, it just sounds bad. It sounds bad to me, and I'm sounding really perfectionist about it. I want this audio to be really good. So, yeah, it's probably gonna need yet another re-record in the winter months when I'm actually, like, feeling more cozy recording in that recording booth. Camilla says, question, if you had to mix the trans flag with another one, what would it be? I'd make a trans pirate flag because it would be cute and amazing. A very interesting thing. I don't know if there are any flags I would want to mix the trans flag with, because the trans flag is neat. I like it. I think it's neat. And this little colorful border around the screen also has the trans colors, and I thought that was really, really cool. What would I have it mixed with? Very, very interesting question. I don't know. Probably the Canadian flag. I think that it would be very interesting as part of the Canadian flag. Cutiefox? A little bit. Mostly because evening tide and the heat, and my brain's just like, oh, it's time to sleep. Excuse me. Cheyenne says, speaking of, I kinda noticed how you post a lot of yandere stuff. I see that there's another one of my kind. Mind telling me what it is about yanderes that interests you so much? Another very, very good question. I like that one. I don't know why I fixated so on yanderes as a character trope. I just really, really liked them, and I really liked the idea of making the sinister but sweet audios. The very first few are really, really rough, with very little in the terms of, like, sound effects or whatnot at all. I mostly just wanted to make stuff that's, like, really caring yanderes. So that's what you end up finding on my channel, is yanderes that don't oftentimes murder, and when they do it for good reason. You know, except for when it's like the yandere alien, and it's like, they don't really see it as killing. I just have a big fascination with dark fantasy. Dark fantasy and yanderes just walk hand in hand. It's really great. Time Marshall says, doing well, have some good news. Oh, stars. Violet says, one of my favorite of your video stories was the Yandere AI, or the Hive Family. Hive Family was really, really lovely to write. Still wondering if I can do a second season of that. It would be interesting, though. Speaking of the Yandere AI, I'm actually writing a remaster to it. I know. I've written an entire remaster of Yandere General, and I still have yet to finish episode 7 or 8. Everything's just kind of ground to a halt. Stars. Lack of motivation really hurts. I want to get back into it. I really, really do. I think that I'm going to have an explosion of industriousness once I finally am allowed to get back to my usual swing of things. Demon says, okay, I was looking for an F for M ASMR. I could not see TF F for F because mobile videos saying it's not big, so I did not see it. 20 times I left a comment with a tally and the YouTuber hearted it. Hi! Fizz says this heat is torture. Everything is too sticky and suffocating. Yeah, I get that. Wanna be someplace up north, someplace cold. I wanna be cold again. When the air isn't on fire? Yes. Camilla says I saw an F for M audio about someone being turned into a cat girl. That M should have been in air quotes. I have something in the works. I call it Project Egg Breaker or Egg Cracker. That should tell you precisely what it's going to be about. I'm going to be posting it on April Fool's Day next year if I can manage it. And it says trans flag mix idea. Trans flag with checkered flag like for motorsports. I like it. Camilla says it's what made me think of the question. Then I would act on Plan C, Plan Canada. Demon says, so what is your Twitch name? My Twitch name? I don't really have... I don't really stream on Twitch. I plan to, but I just have not, like, been able to so far. But it's pretty much the same as on YouTube. It's Cutiefox ASMR. Camilla says, Emma, you are so cute. You must be protected at all costs. Yep, Emma is being protected. By moi. Time Marshall says, if all goes well, I might be in a short horror movie. Oh, excellent! I'd love to see it when it comes out. Akira says, ready's my chair. Welcome, big sister. Camilla says, the return of the lesbian robot overload. Hello, Maya. Hi. Cheyenne says, if you don't mind me asking, what other things do you enjoy doing besides your usual ASMR stuff, as in, what other hobbies do you have? Well, I like 3D animation. 3D animation and sculpture is something I like doing when I can have the motivation to do it. You know what I mean? I've been trying to motivate myself to make cute android girls in Blender. I've not been that successful lately, mainly because I get really lazy. Beyond that, I actually like taking rides on my electric bike. Recently got an electric bike. I've been puttering around on it. It flies like a dream. But I actually, had a collision of sorts with a bush. Caused my right arm to get all scratched up. Fizz says, well, move to Alaska. Stays nice and cold, lum. Camilla says, yay! New Forced Femme for F for F, my favorite. Time Marshall says, thanks. I'm gonna be a zombie. Excellent! A zombie? Excellent. Camilla says, my grandfather's getting me a pizza. I will take more pizza. Demon says, is there a Discord server? Not a bush. Not a bush. Yep, a bush. I tangled with a bush. There is a Discord server, however, it is ID verified checks. It is 18 plus only, mainly because there's like a lot of raunchy stuff in there. And I kind of just like don't want to have no ID checks whatsoever for people going in there. There's like a lot of drama and a lot of like trouble caused with it not being locked down as it was. Wish it were different, but you know how it is. Violet says, I just have this itch of just moving to a cottage in the forest. Nice. Damn Mystery Kid says, kids, right? Brain isn't braining. What? Camilla says, good question. Cam needs more trans and trans VTuber emotes. Brain go burr? Yes, it does. Sometimes it freezes, especially if I'm looking for the right word to say. Sometimes I'll just stop in the middle of what I'm saying and then just look for that word. And sometimes it takes me a few seconds. It used to be that the server was open to the public, and there were plans put in place to create another, more public-facing server. However, those projects have kind of fallen by the wayside, at least for the time being. I'm mostly working by myself, you know, just on my own autonomy with certain things, and generally speaking, as like a one-person staff slash crew, I can't accomplish everything. Violet says the moth has now made a tiny home in the corner of my room. Moths. I like moths. Moths are cool. Camilla says, are you eating ice cream and drinking water? I know in Texas that's essential. I don't have ice cream, but I do have soda. The cup nearly got pulled out of my hands because it snagged on one of my mic cords. Oh, it's quite alright, Emma. Quite alright indeed. To be fair, I've been quite lax too. Quite lax indeed. Especially where it concerns Fox Den Studios. I basically promised a whole heaping amount of, like, animation work that was supposed to have been done that just wasn't. This is basically the part where I reveal I do suffer from a lot of depression and a lot of executive dysfunction. My fault, mostly. I want to get this sort of stuff done. Oftentimes I don't have the motivation to do it. It sucks. I want to make some stuff that is really, really nice. I want to make stuff that's remembered. Time Marshall says it's gonna be a George A. Romero style movie. Violet says cookies. Cookies. Emma says also no soda for microphones. They can't digest it. They don't have digestive tracts. Camilla says, I do not like moths. There was a year when my home was invaded by the moths and now I don't like them. I'm sorry. Camilla says mental health problems aren't your fault. Demon says it's best to rest down, take a break and relax. And you are remembered, says Camilla. Thank you so very much. It means a lot to me. Another thing, too, is, basically finances. Want to be able to make stuff consistently over the course of the summer so that I can still afford to eat. Because, I like food. I like being able to eat. I like having a roof over my head. Don't want those to go away. Hannah says, holy shit, guess I'm stuck here on the alt because my main account is invisible here, Lamau. I'm sorry. Also, I swapped over to the live chat, and now I see Project Lilim VA. Holy shit, I'm invisible. I can say swear words, and nobody will know. Oh, sorry. I can see it. The message. Hello, Project Lilim VA. Hi. A runabout. I'll steal it! No one will ever know. Echoes. But yeah, and the Hannah that's like, Demon says, lol, she can see all. Basically, stay where I can keep my hundreds of all-seeing eyes on you. You get a cookie if you get that reference. I want a cookie. I want a cookie now. Nix! Oh my gosh, Nix! Welcome back! It has been a while. I missed you. Hello. Hi. Hi, 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 hello, hello. I missed you. Violet says, have y'all heard of Bloody Mary, also known as Grace and Simon? Yep, I have. I have. Akira says, let a pro show you how it's done. Fox mode. Yoink. Mai says, I get a cookie either way because I made some. Emma says, I want cookie too. Demon says, I know all the swears words. Project says, I just finished all the ones I've got at home today, so... Cookie, please. Camilla says, I don't want to be in the circus, so I'll take my cookie now, please. Demon says, food. Emma says, it's Nick, hi. And Nick says, hello, I'm currently working on my online portfolio. I hope it goes well. Violet says, Nix! Project says, I also know all the swears words. Swears are fun. Adds a lot of color to the English language. Indeed. Indeed. Nick says, late night work before going to sleep and working tomorrow morning. Ugh. That sounds a lot like a pain. I'm so terribly sorry, Nix. But I hope that it goes well. Chocolate chips with chalky milk, says Camilla. Oh, I see, I see. I like chocolate chip cookies. I think they're really, really tasty. It's been an age since I've had one. Wonder if I should make some sometime. Or buy them. Make them? Buy them. Huh. Well, the kitchen is actually quite cramped and dirty at the moment, so maybe just buying the cookies wouldn't be that bad. Project says everyone. Favorite ice cream flavors, hand them over. No. No. Maya says I keep getting reminded I need to work on my portfolio, but motivation is annoying. In the wise words of Virgil, where is your motivation? Nick says I feel like I'm losing my mind because I'm trying to find internships that pay so I'm not as stressed at work. Kimila says I like all cookies except for raisins. Ones like Tiny Tina says destroy the raisin-filled evil. I'll take oatmeal raisin cookies any day. Believe it or not, I don't hate them. I actually kind of like them too. Not as much as chocolate chip, but I like oatmeal raisin cookies. Deliver them unto me, I will consume the evil. Time Marshall says I'm off. Back to bed now. It's nice seeing you again, Cutiefox. Enjoy the rest of your stream, everyone. Take care. Good night, Time Marshall. It is so very good to see you again. Project says, not actually giving me the ice cream, just the name of the flavor. I promise this isn't a fake contract. I'm a demon, not a fae. I don't really have a favorite flavor of ice cream. I sometimes like mint chip, and I sometimes like cookie dough. I sometimes like just normal chocolate ice cream. And sometimes I just go for whatever, because I feel like it. It's not a question of favorites, it's basically cream and sugar to me at the end of the day. It's a manner of delivering dopamine to the system. Demon says went down to the deepest part of my mind. Violet says, everyone stop being cute. I can't pat everyone on the head. Can you give me head pats, please? Please? Pretty please? No? Pat, pat, pat. Yay! Maya says I love oatmeal cookies if it's made right. I hate raisins, though. What's everyone's problem with raisins? Raisins are just dried grapes. Good night, Demon. Oh, wait. Demon isn't going to bed yet. My bad. They are saying goodnight to someone else. My bad. Nick says, at Maya, I've not worked on my art in a few months. I'm currently a graphic design student that needs art, but motivation is in the dumps. Woof. I felt that. Camilla says, ever had moose track ice cream? Maybe at some point. It's been an age, though. Project says, okay, mint chip and cookie dough are in my top 5 favorites. Easy. Mindfire says oatmeal raisin cookies may be my favorite type of cookie. As long as they are properly labeled as such, it's fairly fun to bite into an unexpected cookie type. Oh, believe you me, I've actually got a story about a friend of mine who actually bit into a macadamia cookie. Macadamia with white chocolate chips in it. They're allergic to macadamia nuts, so their face started to swell. That wasn't fun. Unfortunately, me and that friend no longer really talk. It's been too long. Project says, but the mint chip has to be like vibrant mint green color, otherwise it doesn't taste as good. Yeah, I get that. I've tried Haagen-Dazs stuff where the mint green is like really muted. Nick says I have Reese's Cups at my desk plus like 2 Sprites. Excellent. Project says, I am not cute in Catra voice. Maya says to Nyx, I'm a comp sci student in a college where like half of us are comp sci, so I don't have, projects under my belt. I'm cooked job-wise. I'm sorry. Camilla says I'm not cute. Angry, uncute cat girl noises. Aw, cute. Demon says, don't pet me. I make sounds. Maya says, don't pet me. I'll always follow you because I like the attention. Same here. I like attention. I really like attention. All good. It's all good to hate something because of the texture. Oof, sorry. Project says my problem with raisins is when they're lying about being chocolate chips. That's not their fault, it's the people labeling them. Camilla says pets for all. Did I just hear my own squeak? Oh, sad. Nick says that Maya, I know how you feel, considering I don't like how I feel in my past projects to the point of only like 2 very old projects on my portfolio. I see. Nick says, I might put in some short videos I had worked on, but don't know yet. Whatever you do, we're certain that it's wonderful. Emma says, I've also had strawberry cheesecake ice cream. Well, that's nice too. It is nice, isn't it? Camilla says, I keep fat fingering the send button. How'd that happen to me? It just happens. Demon says, did they get an EpiPen? I have no idea. It's been a while. It's been over a decade since this happened, mind you. Violet says, I'm babysitting my sister Snake. I love snakes. Snakes are so cool. Snakes are great. I am Fox, but I love snakes. Demon says, then we pet the fox. Kamala says, I'm scary, not cute, very scary, uncute cat girl noises. Poor cutie. Winter says, don't pet me. I just don't like being touched except for specific people. All good, Winter. No pets for you. Next says it Maya, what my professor told me is that even if you just helped with some of the smaller stuff for a project, you could probably use it if you kept good notes from it. Demon says happy hoovy sounds. Hoovy? Team Fortress 2 mentioned? Emma says, fox squeaks. Yeah, believe it or not, most of the squeaks that I'm doing on stream are, especially if they're really loud, especially if they come as I yawn, basically are involuntary. I yawn, and then I squeak involuntarily as I yawn. Cheyenne says, pet me, and I'll melt into a puddle. Pet, 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 pet. Maya says that next, it was a while back, so I have no notes. Right now I'm just working on the start of a semester-long project, but all I have is pretty basic stuff right now. Demon says, what is the Discord name so I could join? Okay, so if you want to join the Discord server, basically what you want to do is you want to send an email to my personal email account, which I have just put in the chat there. Basically respond to that, send me a picture of your ID. You can basically cover any details of the ID that you want to, except for your date of birth. I need that information. But yeah, once that's done, I'll send you the link and you can hop onto the Discord server. And that's that. Violet says her name is Eden. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Also, welcome, Corvus. It is so very good to see you again. Demon says, no, my profile is just a hoovy for fun. Camilla says, does Foxo like trains? I like trains. Bing! Maya says, whenever the Cutiefox talks really close like that, my brain stops working for a second. Oh, poor thing. Next is at Maya, hey, it's better than nothing so far. Just take a few notes and take pictures since they may help too. Corvus says, oh, wait, I do that too. Only sometimes, but yeah, I've made very high-pitched squeaks before while yawning. Demon says, if she talks in mummy voice, she will kill us all. Maya says, mummy voice fox might make me combust. Violet says, what's a brain? Camilla says, I remember my first hyperfixation, it was Willy Wonka. I see, I see. Also, for all the good girls in chat, good girl. Good girl. And for next, because it has been a long, long time since you've been here, and I'm so very glad to see you again. Good, Andy. Nah, I'm a gremlin. Cheyenne says, is your mic expensive since you're able to speak only on one side? I have two microphones. One for the left, one for the right. Both of them are MXL 770s. I did not purchase them myself. They are basically given over from Bear Waifu Audios to me. As, you know, when Bear Waifu quit the industry. That was basically one of the last updates I got direct from them regarding their particular situation regarding ASMR. I was there when they stopped. When they decided that they no longer wanted to be a part of the industry. And broke my heart, but I understood. Nick says, I am chaos. Chaos indeed. Camilla says, I'm not. Aw, poor thing. 05 or 70s, I like 05. 05 is nice. 70s is nice. Good girl. Bet you thought I wouldn't whisper. But you're a good girl. For the good girls in chat. Demon says it may take a while since my drivers keep forgetting to drive so the office so I can get my ID, so it'll probably be next month when I can join. Fair enough beans. I look forward to it. Shane says, stop. You're making me blush. Oh, poor thing. Maya says, I want to be more mischievous, but then I get called a good girl and everything shuts down. Oh, poor thing. Poor thing. So good. So cute. So adorable. Akira says you should see her blush. She lights up a room. From what I've been told, yes. Corvus says, oh, right. My first hyperfixation was elephants. I don't remember it, but I have an elephant blanket from when I was teeny and had no feathers. Camilla says, I'm bad to the bone. You cannot break me. I'm tough. I'm strong. My will hold. Oh, my dear. Of course you're strong. Of course you're tough. I'm not trying to break your will. No. I am calling you a good girl. Just a little bit of a soft touch. You are strong enough to take a compliment, can't you? Camilla. Akira says, and I can verify. Bai says, hey Cutiefox, how's your Friday been? Are you doing great? Doing the best I can, thank you. Violet says, I have way too many theories about your stories, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and the Nightmare Before Christmas. Oh, you have theories about my stories? Love to hear some of them sometime. Camilla has become a meowing mess. Oh, what a strong kitty you are. Such a good, strong kitty you are. Good girl. Good girl. Demon says, no, she's trying to make all of us blush. Demon says, we can't hide. Maya says, oh my god, I'm blushing so hard right now. Camilla says, I'm hiding. Demon says, I think I am too. Camilla says, I'm invisible. You cannot see me. But I can hear you. And even as you hide in the bushes, and even as you still your breath, I can hear the pounding of your heart. Nick says, I'm lucky to be tired and distracted with another video in my portfolio. Such a hard worker. Shan Abner says, man, all that soft in your ear talk is reminding me of the Yandere ex-detective turned maid through hypnosis audio. My absolute favorite audio she's made. I really loved making that one, although I don't know if the hypnosis is at all that good. Good girl. Camilla says, what did Camilla do? Corvus says, I'm usually way too stupid and flustered to have theories. Oh, I don't think you dupe it at all. Demon says, or it is because I am giggling. My ass, I'm genuinely hiding my face in my pillows sometimes. As if you could hide from yourself. Violet says one of them is about who really Alice in the AI... Who really killed Alice in the AI Yandere series? Ah, I see. Well, who killed her wasn't Nicole at all. It was a hit person who thought that she was in on a scheme to steal the money of billionaires, essentially. Maya, it's so cute. Shan says, I just really like that premise and have spent way too much time thinking of various fan-made continuations of the story in my head. I'm glad. Camilla says, relax, it's okay. No more dummy voice, it's gone. Demon says, I can't be hypnosis at all. It is all the videos as 2 times speed. Camilla says, who killed Croc Robin? I killed Croc Robin. Maya says, I was genuinely squealing when I did my first listen of the first Agnes audio? Which one was that again? Corvus says, no, I mean, I enter stupid mode when I'm flustered, so unless one of my hyperfixations is mentioned, or I get too dysphoric, I'm probably not doing too much thinking in that state. Oh, poor thing. Poor, poor thing. Wish to hold you close and pet your head and tell you everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. Camilla says, I wish I still had the I have no mouth and I must scream ending monologue memorized. I don't have it memorized, but I do remember it. I do recall it. Camilla says, I have no brain and I must think. Violet says, I'm gonna stay standing. Here's your voice and falls. Damn it. Maya says, mistype, sorry, I meant Demon Steel. I was just listening to Faye's audios before I saw the stream, so my mind is on that a bit. I got your Patreon and couldn't find the extended version. Ah, the extended version is actually under the mature videos pack. Let me see if I can locate it on my Patreon for you. Scrolling down, 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 down. Past Delphi. Past the remake scripts that I have released. Come on, load. Thank you. Behind the scenes. Mature video pack. Not safe for work ASMR pack. That takes you not only to the extended version of the Demon Steel, but it'll also send you to the same location as the Ripper Doc extended and one of the Symbiote audios, I think. Demon says, why is the voice putting me to sleep? Oh, it's simple. When you're sleeping, you're not as stressed. When you're not as stressed, you can relax. When you can relax, you can finally feel more free, to be at ease. Don't you want to be more at ease? I'm sure that you would like to be at ease. Maya says, oh thanks, my subscription to yours, just ended and I spent an hour or two searching at night hoping I could find it. Demon says, I have games to play! And you can play them later. And I'm certain that when you do play them, You will play them well. Are there any Digital Circus fans in the chat? Violet says, also making backstories to the background characters in Yandere AI. Excellent. I should love to hear some of them. Camilla says, how did you know? Mainly because I am a fan of it myself. Demon says, I don't need to relax. If I relax, I hear them again. Cheyenne says, oh god, I've heard so much about that series. I know my elder sis watched the show, and I've heard it's got a whole lot of stuff going on. I also heard about the discourse about its finale. I don't really get into the discourse, simply because, well, to be frank, I don't like the toxic elements of the fandom, and I stay away from them. I just tend to stick with, you know, the calmer elements, the elements that I like. And I block out the harsher buzz. Demon says, I like the show. It has a lot of ships. Apparently I also sound a little bit like Bubble from the series. So apparently I have a killer Bubble impression. Breathtaking! The committee's gonna love that. Kamala says, I don't like fandoms. One, it's dangerous for queer people. Violet says, the guy coworker, I can't remember his name, has a husband and an adopted daughter named Ivory. I see. I see. Excellent. Mai says, I stay away from fandoms that I don't run into on my own, and usually I stay in safe parts of the fandoms. Camilla says, two fandom can't handle ace characters or themes. Yeah. Speaking as someone who is, well, ace myself, yeah. It is a problem. 3, it's just not pleasant to be in. Sometimes, yes. Sometimes, yes. I'm on it, boss. Ugh. Why are you like this? Nick says there are times where I will deep dive into a fandom, but also I will just stay on the outer rings of the fandom. Yeah, that's what I do. Demon says I'm not trans, but so know some trans people there. Good people. Camilla says, granted, I did look up a local DSA chapter to join. Nothing, though, as I expected. Cheyenne says, do I have a favorite character from that show? Everyone but Jax. I legitimately like every single character but Jax. And even Jax, I kind of like how he is aesthetically. You know, I like his design. I don't like him. Kamal says this town still thinks Joe Biden and Obama are the cause of all the world's issues. I don't want to even get into that right now. Simply because, well, I don't want to. I've made no secret that I am extremely on the left where things are concerned. Demon says, what different outfits do you have? This is the only one I've got, really. This is the only outfit that I have that the artist drew me with. So yeah, this is it. And unfortunately, the artist that originally drew this is no longer making VTuber models. So what you see is what you get. But still, not too terribly bad, would you say? Camilla says, I like Jax, probably because I see a lot of myself in him and how I used to be. Yeah, I see a little bit of myself in Jax as well, which is one of the reasons why I don't like her. Violet says, also, I made a backstory for the listener, also known as one of my OCs. Her name is Lily. She had a single dad, and the male co-worker's husband is her other bestie that she has known since high school. Requires a little bit of tinkering, but could work. Though most of the co-workers in the original audio, they don't know the listener when she first joins. Cheyenne says, Ace of Diamonds themed or just playing cards themed. Pretty cool outfit. Mostly just like, playing cards because I have a big inspiration from Alice in Wonderland. After all, what do foxes chase other than rabbits? Nick says, I don't remember if I let you know before I left the server, but I actually made my own VTuber model using Vroid Studio. Congratulations! Corvus says, I love the checkered patterning and card theming. Maybe? I've never noticed that. Well, yeah, mostly because my character is, like, zoomed in, but yeah. Now you can see a lot more detail. You can see the different, I think they're called suits? Card suits? I think that's what they're called. Don't quote me on that. And yeah, believe it or not, it actually was a part of my 3D model before that this dress had that sort of theming. I wrote an entire, well, backstory for this particular character, for who this model is, for who I am as a VTuber. And it is a riff on the Alice in Wonderland story. And I definitely read that A, that is like center stage on the dress. I read the A there as ace. Like I'm the ace in the hole. Nick says, did stream a little, but then work got the best of me and haven't done so in a while. I see. I'm sorry. Demon says, if we are talking OCs, I have one. Dusty Gender MA, due to me being a man. Camille asks, have I played Nier Replicant? Nope, I've not played any of the Nier games. Cheyenne says, so does that mean you've fallen down your own rabbit hole into Wonderland? Yes, though Wonderland in my particular version, my particular spin on the tale is Wonderland is a parasitic dimension. It runs parallel to our own, but feeds off of it. It's a cross between several liminal spaces and stars. Do you remember The Dark Side, which was like an old TV show from back in the day? There exists beside this world a dark nether realm. One that is just as real, but not as brightly lit. Hello, Chloe. It's okay. We're just talking about stuff. Here, let me see if I can find one of the old intros. Tales from the Dark Side. It had a really trippy intro, and who knows, I might get a little bit claimed for this, but I'll play the audio for you. It was from the 80s.
The sunlit world of what he believes to be reality. But there is, unseen by most, an underworld, a place that is just as real, but not as brightly lit. A dark side. The dark side is always there, waiting for us to enter, waiting to enter us. Until next time, try to enjoy the daylight. Corvus says parasitic dimension? I'm already enthralled by the idea. I've been learning a bit about parasitoid wasps recently, and I like them. Demon says, Wonderland ever hear of Lustland, Monster Girl Wonderland? I don't think I have. Let me look it up really quickly. Oh. So. Okay. Fascinating. I'll look at that later. Corvus says, I do feel as though I've heard about this before, but I can't recall from where. It was a rather, I won't say obscure TV show from the 80s. There was like a bunch of stuff that was like broadcast in the 80s that I can't find anymore. I've been looking though. There's so much scary stuff that is just there to be explored. Holly says, yeah, you might just be talking about things, but, like, I don't want to miss stream from a top 5 cutest fox. She's not number 5, by the way, or 4, or 3, or 2. Camilla says it reminds me of the Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone is great. I like the Twilight Zone. And, yeah, I suppose I did take a little bit of inspiration from it as well. It, Tales from the Dark Side. Yeah, in this regard, Wonderland is a tiny dimension that isn't as big as our world. And it's It takes a lot of inspiration from outdoor liminal spaces. Think about a gigantic, rusting, rotting Ferris wheel. Imagine just below the surface of the earth, there is a giant, red, fungal creature that acts as a sort of pulmonary system. The literal beating heart underneath the soil of Wonderland. And yes, the place is a parasitic dimension. It latches onto actual dimensions and feeds off of residual energies, like radiation. Radiations of all kind, really, from gamma to Hawking. So it's latched onto ours right now, and, you know, relatively mystical, we'll call them, creatures can come and go. In this world, the Mad Hatter is a massive gears with a hat. And the Red Queen is basically a mushroom. Maya says, my DM for a Call of Cthulhu used that background stuff as a background for his intro. Demon says, how to kill all of your chat, do a daddy or mommy voice. I do a mommy voice, I don't really do a daddy voice. Camilla says, I love Twilight Zone. My favorite episodes are Printer's Devil, He's Alive, Death's Head Revisited, and Walking Distance. One of mine is Midnight Sun. Chloe says, it takes not just Gamma, but Hawking too. That's crazy. And Camilla says, Foxy needs to change her name to Cutest Fox ASMR. Chloe says, I'm so sorry. Why are you apologizing? Retweet? It also feeds off of people in certain ways. It feeds off of people who fall in. Those that die become nourishment. Demon says that they're all dangerous in their own ways. Clay says I made a hashtag bad joke. It's okay. I make bad jokes from time to time. Bad jokes are lovely. I love bad jokes. From Midnight Sun, it was the scene of the paintings melting. Like from the heat of the sun, having them melt around her was just... it freaked me out as a kid. Understood, Demon. Stay safe. Please return soon. And yes, you are a good girl, Chloe. But yeah, if you've got any questions as to the world that I have just described or anything else regarding it, I can answer them. Chloe says, nah, I'm a bad girl. Yeah! Just badass imagery. I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way. Camilla says, Chloe is a good girl. I'm evil. Maya says, I think I'm gonna try to join your Discord when I'm at college again if I remember. Chloe says, me when I get ads. Ah! Ads are painful. I really wish I could do without, but girls gotta eat. Camilla says, I have YouTube Premium. Excellent. Chloe says, we get it. Okay. I'm sorry. Sorgy. Sargy. Ah, Maya Proctor. Thank you for becoming an active member. I was just checking my emails and I caught that. Chloe says, wait, that sounded rude. No, I meant we hashtag listen and hashtag understand. Maya says, student discount for YouTube Premium makes it actually not that bad, and I need to listen to the Fox uninterrupted for sleepy times. Nick says, I think I finished updating a few major parts of my portfolio. Congratulations. Camille says, I'm a very scary kitten. A very scary kitten indeed. Hey, none of that, dear. None of that. There is no need to attack. No need to attack at all. You're safe here. Nick says I abuse the hell out of YouTube Premium with my student discount. As you should. Any discounts that you can get is excellent. Camilla says, but I'm a kitten. I want to jump and play and run. Of course you can jump and play and run and skip and hop if you so choose. But no attacking. Okay, Petal? Thanks, dear. Demon says, okay, back as the daily stuff is time. Chloe says, only thing I abuse is my credit score. Hashtag baller. Demon says, I'm a hellhound, I'm big. Cute. Also, did you see that Tumblr post that is like, it's not that deep? Start digging! Dig, 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 dig. Too deep. Climb, 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 climb. Nick says, I currently have over 2,000 hours of videos listened to using Premium. I see. Camilla says, why is everyone here so cute? Everyone here is incredibly cute, including you, Camilla. Maya says, I think spiritually I'm a wet cat. And you are very cute. Corvus says, petal? Isn't there something... Are you allowed to say that? I can say words like petal. Like rose petal. Or flower petal. Digatana, digatana. Dig-a-tonna, dig-a-tonna. A tonna? What's a tonna? Ton of stuff. Blah. Sometimes I get mad intrusive thoughts. Ugh. Ugh. Emma says diggy diggy hole. I'm digging a hole. Camilla says, have you read the Batman Family Adventures webtoon? Bits and pieces, which I have seen floating through on YouTube. Demon says, I'm not cute. I'm a flower, a nightshade to be exact. And even a nightshade can be cute. Demon says, I've shown it on YouTube. Corva says, I do love flowers and plants in general. They're nice, and I like that life can exist in so many ways different from us. My favorite flowers are roses and chicory. Chicory is beautiful. And so are you. But yes, I believe I can say words like petal. No law against it, from what I remember. Nick says I'm a gremlin that sometimes remembers they exist. Camilla says, Foxy, I never got an answer if I simp for Google-chan. Anime girl Google. Does that make me a simp for Google? That depends. Are you willing to basically fork over all of your information and identity to this company? Because of an anime girl that someone drew? Merryweather? Then no, you're not a simp for Google. Demon says, there's no law against the Pokemon, Batman. No Joker! No down! I've got it stuck in my head now, thanks, Demon. Camilla says, I was hoping to confuse you, but Fox is also online a bunch. Emma says, I'm gonna do it, Batman. No, Joker, no doubt. Stars, I can't believe this is live. Chloe says, chat, I'm so #scared. I'm going outside and doing things tomorrow. Help. Demon says, I was stuck in my head. Now you all suffer now. Fairest of fair beans. Akira says, Vegeta no. Vegeta yes. Demon says, Bootish no. Bootish yes. Camilla says, we can't help. Please touch the grass. I do every day. It's nice. Corva says, I'm so sorry, Chloe. Going outside can be so scary sometimes. Also, hello, Mama. The lovely Mary, full of grace. Akira, backflips from Boop. Unnecessary backflips. Leon! 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 Help! Akira says, Alucard, no. I don't have to take this. I'm taking a walk. No, you don't. Mai says, sometimes I just remember the MGL area memes and I can't forget the one that gets put in my head. Demon says, they get the girl. Nick says, I'm tempted to go to bed, but also don't want to go to bed. I feel that. I feel that in my bones. I feel that every single day, with every waking hour, I could just drift back to sleep, but I don't. Not really. I just lay there, caught between the space of dreaming and waking. Always teetering on the edge and never falling any which way. It's just a cruel joke of existence, isn't it? Walter. How much is this going to cost? Well, the Alucard amount. Maya says, please don't tempt the fox into saying, Hara hara, I'd die. Oh. Hara. Hara hara. Hara hara. Demon says, and now how fast will die from that? Chloe's bed is nice. Nick says, more Honkai Star Ale and grin for Himiko Nova or Destiny 2 grind. Mary says, me? Full of grace? You only think that because you haven't seen me try to walk across the room, my daughter. Maya says, how is D2 now that the last update thing happened? Demon says, yes, I will try, and no one can stop me. The mods and YouTuber can. Mary says, graceful, I am not. Chloe says, no one has ever had a better idea than bed. Camilla says, narrator voice, Fox wants to sleep because when she goes to sleep, the horrors go away. But when she wakes up, the horrors remain, so the fox must too. Don't touch that dial now, we're just getting started. Do you remember that from the PT demo? Oh, so long ago. Don't touch that dial now, we're just getting started. Apparently, I'm dropping frames. Why am I dropping frames? Oh no. Hello? Hello? Yep, it disconnected. And now it's reconnected. Hello? Can anyone hear me? Hello? Hello? Hi. Hello? Sorry about that. Yeah, the OBS was in the process of actively dying. And then it just disconnected and then reconnected. Hopefully that will be the last time it does it. Otherwise, I'm going to be very, very disappointed. Camilla says, well, what do you want to sing about? There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He's told us not to blow it, 'cause he knows it's all worthwhile. He told me, let the children lose it. Let the children use it. Let all the children boogie. Starman just plays in my head whenever stuff lags. Chloe says me when I hit mute. It's a strong stream. Yep, she pulled through. We're back. Also, I hope that the singing wasn't too awful. Maya says, "Oh, it was not me? I went and threatened my router. No, it wasn't you. It wasn't you at all. It was, as a matter of fact, me. My OBS crashed, essentially. It was threatening to crash, and then it disconnected and reconnected really, really quickly. Not fun, not pretty. Happens whenever it loses connection to the internet." Corva says, "No, certainly not. I love Starman." Maya says, "I missed most of the singing, but I enjoyed the singing I listened to." I could do a little bit more singing while I still have time. I'll start with the world's greatest actor, because, well, I memorized the song. The world's greatest actor doesn't need a stage, 'cause they're so good at their craft that nobody knows they're fake. The fools had no clue, the one they knew was just a fraud. The master of pretending to be something that they're not. But as the years go by, the actor starts to change. As day by day they live their life like all the world's a stage. Their true self mutilated by their permanent new mask. But by the time they realize it, it's too late to turn back. The world's greatest actor despises their new form. Through their practice veterans' mouths they got much more than they bargained for. For as they turn back to their unsuspecting crowd, they thank them for their patronage and take their final bow. I know the song you're referencing, Camilla. And I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not. I wish I memorized it. I didn't memorize it. I did memorize, however, the Other Father's song from Coraline. Making up a song about Coraline. She's a peach, she's a doll, she's a pal of mine. She's as cute as a button in the eyes of everyone who ever laid their eyes on Coraline. When she comes around exploring, Mom and I will never ever make it boring. Our eyes will be on Coraline. Shout out, they might be giants. Yep. Shout out. Camilla says, my coworker told me that my way was my theme. I think he was trying to insult me. Thank you so very much, Demon. I do the best I can. So eepy, Maya? I understand. I'm a little bit eepy myself. Keeping myself awake, though. With delightful song. Maya says, gotta stay for the entire stream, though. Trying to think of what other songs I could sing. What other songs do I know? What do I feel confident in doing? Camilla says, I bet you could do Pepsi Man. It's just the word Pepsi Man over and over. I am not doing Pepsi Man. I am not doing that. You would have to pay me far too much to do that. Stayed Gone? You want me to do Stayed Gone from Has Been Hotel? I could try to do that. I could. I don't know how good I would be. Do you want to hear me sing Stayed Gone? I mean, I don't know. Just think of songs you can sing. I actually haven't heard Stayed Gone. Ring Around the Rosie. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Sorry. I was thinking about Ring Around the Rosie, and I thought about this one scene from Rose Red, a Stephen King miniseries. And one of the characters responds to something like that with "not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." The Death, Death, Devil, Devil, Evil, Evil song. You could totally sing that one song by that one band. Corva says, singing does seem to be a good way to keep oneself awake. I remember one time, it was early morning, but I was tired, so I went to the pond by my house and sang the entirety of the Black Parade. Next says, I'm currently redoing some old events in Honkai Star Rail, and it's funny because of how quickly I beat the enemies that used to give me a hard time. Who's on first? What's on second? I don't know who's on third. Do you know the names? Go ahead and tell me. I think a Who's On First skit bled its way into my head. Fox needs to sing Christmas songs in December. I could sing Halloween songs now. The sound of rolling dice to me is music in the air. 'Cause I'm a gambling boogeyman, although I don't play fair. It's much more fun, I must confess, with lives on the line. Not mine, of course, but yours, so girl, now that'd be just fine. Pacific by Chase Petra? I don't think I have. Camilla says, well, you see, someone named Who is on first, and someone named What is on second, and someone called I don't know is on third. Maya says, I don't know if my brain or body is telling me to sleep, but the other one is telling me to stay up. Hello, Ray. I'm late, but I'm here. Hi. Hi. It's so very good to see you, Ray. MS says, sorry for pinging you while you stream. Got excited about musics. While I stream, I don't actually get notifications that I am being pinged. Though it does give me idea of a song. Have you ever heard The Night by Voltaire, I think? Yeah, Aurelio Voltaire. There's a female version that I have heard on YouTube. I really love it. I'm just gonna look up the lyrics because I don't have it memorized. Gorva says that next. I remember feeling that with Rain World because I was in a place, Sky Islands to Pipe Yard. Remember hating viscerally, and I did it very easily and wondered what I found so difficult about it. Chloe says, no, I'm a chud. I only know emo and punk songs. Hey, you're no chud. This is a place to expand one's palate. Camilla says, and Hell in a Handbasket as well. He also did the Death, Devil, Devil, Evil, Evil song. Hate that word. Oh. Yeah, I can see why you might. Maya says, I don't even know what genres I know anymore. Ray says the night, feathery wings, and when you're evil are the ones I remember most, but they're fun. Of those, I only really know the night. And I'm gonna have to psych myself up a little bit for it because sometimes I get a little not confident in my voice. But here, allow me to begin. I'm gonna put on the music in the background so that I feel like I'm not singing to empty air. And the music is really, really lovely. It was apparently released originally in the year 2000, which is like, how is this song as old as I am? The day is the wife whom I elude, the one to whom I should be right. Although forewarned by peers and kin, I always get into the night. Mother always warned me such being a nocturnal soul's, besides just being simply strange, spawns from some illness of the mind. The night she calls me, she calls me. She calls me, she calls me, she sways in her velvet dress and pulls me towards her in the dark, while the others rest, while the others rest, while the others rest. Heed the call, the time has come for all you children of the night. Gather around like suckling dogs. Mother's come, she is the night. Come with me to the other side. Make the girl in black your bride. 'Cause the night she calls me, she calls me, she calls me, she calls me, she sways in her velvet dress and pulls me towards her in the dark, while the others rest, while the others rest, while the others rest. just seems very strange to me, not her quiet, lonely streets, and draped in all her mystery, could be so sweet and comforting. The night she calls me, she calls me, she calls me, she calls me, she sways in her velvet dress and pulls me towards her in the dark. While the others rest, while the others rest, while the others rest. Thank you so very much. Yeah, Justine's mic has a cover on YouTube that I prefer to the original version. Oh my, thank you so very much, Ray. Thank you, Camilla. Camilla says music channel when? I sound good? It's so soothing. Cutiefox music when? Oh, stars. Camilla says Voltaire isn't for everyone, but when he hits, he hits. Of course, you prefer the sapphic version. I wonder why. Wait, was it really that good? I might have to take a listen to how I sounded during the song. Please, we can make Music Fox happen. I don't know. I don't think that sounds that good. Could be self-doubt, could just be that I need singing lessons. Oh, my heart is kind of slamming in my chest right now. Thank you. I think I might get noise complaints. Oh, stars. I feel I feel a little bit embarrassed, actually. I'm sorry. My cheeks are so fluffing. They're burning right now. Maya says revenge for making all of us blush and get flustered earlier. No, I'm embarrassed at my singing. It's not as pretty as other people's singing. I wish I was pretty. Yeah, if I do go for lessons, I will go for lessons. I want to be good at singing. I don't want to be bad. Oh, I just flinched. I'm sorry. Don't let the haters win. Thanks, Demon. I just do the best I can. I'm sorry to suddenly get all muted and stuff. I get self-conscious really easily. That's why I oftentimes don't really do karaoke in person. Listening back over my singing voice, I fear that I'm horrible. I feel that it just sounds like I'm really off-key. I'm a really off-key singer. Thank you. I'm sorry. I didn't expect to get emotional or anything. I just... Okay, but then it means that I will improve. Oh, but stars, Oof. Sorry. Thanks, Ray. Blah. Ha! Emma, you're not a bad singer. You sound a lot prettier than I do. Camilla says I had my neighbor cry into my shoulder on my lunch break. I see. Let it out, Fox. We love you. You guys. Thank you. Y'all are really kind. I appreciate you. You're great. Camilla says it's okay to feel. Remember, it's what makes us human. Oh, my voice wavered a little. Sorry about that. I get emotional really easy, I notice. Nothing wrong with being emotional. I think that it's one of my core strengths. That I recognize what some of my feelings are. Thank you, Maya. Thank you. Thank you. Ray says anytime, you shine brighter than any of the stars in the sky, girl. Keep reaching for them, no matter how far they may seem. Chloe says you're always your own worst critic. Don't get into your head with the worst thoughts. You'll always be way better than you think. You're really good at singing and so many other things, too. Chloe says I hit character limit, but I hope you get it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Singing lessons are a little bit pricey, but I think I could go for it. I really think I could go for it. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. La da da la da da da. Bum, bum, bum. Ooh, ooh. Oh, Camilla says, I'm my own worst enemy, and everyone agrees if I wasn't in my way, I would have done great things by now. I'm my Joker, Lex Luthor, my Emperor Palpatine. I'm a mess. I'm a narcissistic freak, but my life is. I don't think you're narcissistic. At least I don't think so. Demon says, I bet she could put all of us to sleep by singing a lullaby. Camilla says, for no one else to live but me, so I'm going to give it one more try. Oof. I might have just hummed the Huntress's lullaby. Demon says, no, you don't, sadly, as you have to give one other person immortal as well. Emma says, sing, my angel of music. Sing, my angel of music, sing! Unfortunately, though, I am feeling really eepy. Not as self-conscious, though, so that's good. I think I'll call it here for tonight. Thank you so very much for stopping by and for hanging out with me. It truly means the universe to me. And I hope to see you on my next stream as well. Which hopefully would be tomorrow, but I'm putting it only tentatively right now. Thank you. Thank you, and good night. Make sure you drink some water, and make sure that you get some good food in your system. And please survive. Surviving is winning. Thank you. Good night.